Hello, I'm Brian Lohse. I represent Iowa House District now 45 with redistricting, which is East Polk County, North Polk County. A little bit about myself. I graduated Drake University in 1995, served in Illinois as a practicing attorney for 3 years before returning to Iowa and taking a job in the insurance industry with both Allied Insurance and EMC Insurance. In 2018, I was elected to serve the East Polk County in the Iowa House of Representatives. Now going on into my third term, and each term in the last first two terms, I should say, served on the House Judiciary Committee, and looking forward to doing that again here in my next term, and enjoying my time there in the State House. We as lawyer legislators, especially in the Iowa House, one of the things that we don't always do, and especially myself, it's been a long time since I've practiced on a day-to-day basis. So really having that information from you all and from lawyers who are in the day-to-day, in the trenches, knowing how a bill is going to affect how you practice and how it's going to affect your clients, that type of information, the nitty-gritty, the how it impacts your daily lives is the information that I want, especially, and I think a lot of us in the Iowa House anyway really need that information, because a lot of us don't practice again on a daily basis like you all do. So at least for me, that hands-on, how something is going to impact you is very important to me. One of the other important aspects of the information that you can give to us is looking at bills, especially during session, the bills that are coming up. What is the language like? We get good information and interpretation from Doug Strike and Jim Carney and Jen Dorman. But the more eyes, for me, the more eyes that are on a bill, that especially the language, to ensure that the language is airtight in its interpretation. So they can't be, it's not, there's no conflict in its interpretation for courts, for practitioners, for clients. That's the type of information also I think that's very important for us, so that we craft legislation that is airtight, that is clear and that's concise, and that people can use in your practice for your clients. Having contact with your local representative, and either representative or senator, is extremely important. I'd like to start with saying what doesn't work in contact, at least for me, in contacting your representative, and that's some sort of form email. And I'm not sure ISBA really does that, which is a good thing. But there are so many just form emails you get that you just click and they send. Those are highly ineffective. The real good way to get to know, to be effective in advocating for LawPAC and issues related to lawyers really is to get to know your legislator. And that being, show up at their forums. Just give them a call. Invite them for lunch. Invite them just to sit down in your office and have a conversation about what's important to you. And that's not just during session time. That is also, for me anyway, you have more time in the off season, just for either a lunch or just to sit down somewhere and just get to know the other person and your legislator. During the session, emails are, for me anyway, are usually the best way to get a hold of me. We're running around quite a bit, talking to people like Jim Carney and Doug Strike. But if you really want to get a hold of me, generally email is the best. Once you have a rapport with your legislator, it is a lot easier then to get to know them and find out how they want to be contacted even during session. And once you have that rapport, it's a lot easier to just pick up a phone and make a phone call. Those you usually get answered a little more quickly when you have a rapport as opposed to just out of the blue. So it's to me, the relationship is the vital piece, and having conversations, and that leads to those conversations about what's impacting you and your practice, and how legislation might impact them, and always be open to a conversation, even some opinions you may not like to hear. We need to hear your voice, but also you need to understand where we're coming from as well, so that you see both sides of the story, we see both sides of an issue, and that we can make the best legislation possible.